The Cold War was a geopolitical conflict that lasted from the end of World War II in 1945 until the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. It was a conflict between the two superpowers of the time, the United States and the Soviet Union. Although the two nations never directly engaged in military action against each other, the tension and rivalry between them shaped much of the world's political landscape during this period. Origins of the Cold War. The Cold War can be traced back to the end of World War II. The United States and the Soviet Union were allies in the war, but they had different visions for the post-war world. The United States was committed to promoting democracy and capitalism, while the Soviet Union sought to spread communism. These differences led to mistrust and tension between the two nations. The Iron Curtain. In 1946, British Prime Minister Winston Churchill gave a speech in which he referred to the division of Europe as an Iron Curtain, separating the communist East from the democratic West. This speech marked the beginning of the Cold War and signaled the start of a long period of tension and conflict between the Soviet Union and the West. The arms race. During the Cold War, both the United States and the Soviet Union built up massive arsenals of nuclear weapons. This arms race was driven by the fear that the other side would gain a strategic advantage in the event of a war. The threat of nuclear war hung over the world during this period and shaped much of the Cold War's politics. Proxy wars. Although the United States and the Soviet Union never engaged in direct military conflict, they fought a number of proxy wars throughout the Cold War. These were wars fought between smaller nations that were backed by one of the superpowers. Examples of these proxy wars include the Korean War, the Vietnam War, and the Soviet-Afghan War. The fall of the Berlin Wall. In 1989, the Berlin Wall, which had been a symbol of the Cold War, fell. This event marked the beginning of the end of the Cold War. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked the end of the Cold War.